Alright guys, welcome back to another Florida hike. I am Brent and today we're doing the Watermelon Pond North Trailhead. This is in Newberry, Florida. We're going to hike through the trails, the prairies, some wooded areas, and then get to the actual watermelon pond itself before turning around and heading back. I expect to see a lot of Spanish moss, pine trees. There's probably going to be some reptiles, so let's see what we can get into on this hike today. We definitely are going to have a lot of good views. It's a sunny day that this was filmed at, and this is back in March. The weather was in the early 80s, maybe 80 degrees. As you can see here, we're walking out towards the open area, the prairie. And Watermelon Pond itself is actually located right outside of Gainesville. As I said, it was in Newberry, Florida. This is an example of what's called a karst depression lake. Over millions of years, the limestone sunk and fell below sea level into a lot of places in Florida, or at sea level. And over time, the full lake itself dried up, but there is still a shallow wetland here and a pond that's big enough to go out on a boat. So we're going to go take a look at that. There's not much tropical foliage in this area, actually. There is some Spanish moss, but I didn't see any palm trees or palmettos even. A lot of pine trees. It kind of reminded me of something that you could see in Connecticut or southern New England a bit. The trail itself was very sandy, so we did walk over a lot of sand. Make sure you get some good shoes. And look at that, that's the open prairie right there. Looks like it goes on for miles. A lot of farms are in this area as well because the land is very fertile. So let's continue on. Coming up front, there is a few different smaller ponds that are still way out in the prairie and some wetlands. I heard a lot of bullfrogs when I was out there. So there's definitely animals, amphibians. Didn't see any alligators today, but I know that they're out there. And here's an interesting fact. The name Watermelon Pond looks like it was derived from watermelon farming that once took place here. So let's stop and take a look at these bullfrogs over here. right, so we are now almost at the pond. Let's finish up this trail. As you can see, the pond is starting to poke over the horizon right there. And we're going to walk past a huge patch of Spanish moss on the right. Look at that coming off the trees. That's actually not a real moss. That is an air plant. It is a plant that does not have roots and it lives just on the branches of the trees off the moisture. And to our left is the actual watermelon pond. There it is. Let's keep walking as far down as we can before the trail ends. Right, let's continue to walk down to the end of this trail over here. My plan now is to walk to the end of Watermelon Pond and we'll turn around and head back. And we'll see what else we can find before ending the hike. It's a pretty decent trail. I'd say maybe it was about 5 miles out and back. This is the other end of the pond. And over way to the east of where I'm standing is another parking lot where you can launch your boats off. The pond's a lot deeper at that end. That's where the people go fishing or use airboats. But the hiking trail is here over in the north trailhead. And look at those lily pads. It's beautiful. It was a nice spring day out here today. There was a lot of frogs, birds, dragonflies flying around. So, perfect weather for it. We're going to come up on a big patch of Spanish moss right there, hanging off the trees. That is incredible. And right there's a little bench somebody built out of some stones you can sit at, enjoy the view. Alright, we're coming back to the parking lot now that we started off in. There's that yellow fence. I hope you guys enjoyed Watermelon Pond. Again, this is Newberry, Florida. This is the North Trailhead I hiked today. And there'll be more videos coming. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.